Now in this video, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the library Edline page so that you'll be able to find the information you need and the resources that you need quickly. Now if you scroll down a little bit, you'll notice that there's a lot of navigation that you have at your disposal. Over here on the right, let's see, some things that you're going to need to know about here. Primary sources. If you click on this, it takes you to a page with, first of all, just a refresher on what primary sources are. And if you click here, this gives you some documents that tell you how to evaluate primary sources. Then we have a number of databases here that include primary sources in them. That's not the only thing that you'll find in those databases, but you might get lucky and find your subject with a primary source in there. Now further down the list, I've created sections of, these are all web links, so anything that's underlined, you can go ahead and click on that. The first grouping is information that relates to world history, and the second grouping, which is actually a lot more complete, it's also tends to be a little bit more modern stuff, is American history, because we're only talking about a couple hundred years of history. More of our information is digitized. And then down here there's a few that relate to images and artworks, maps, things like that. Maps down here. And then if we go back to the main page, you will find, what else are we going to find? There's some additional how-to videos. This is important, database passwords. There's only a few databases that require passwords, and that would be the ABC Clio grouping and Follett Shelf ebooks, which I will show you in a moment. So there's only a few that need database passwords, but if you don't know the password, that's going to be tragic for you. Now further down here, we've got a link to the library catalog. You can access this from home as well. Follett Shelf ebooks. We've got, at the moment, about 60 ebooks that you can actually read online. And then we've got databases here. Now, once again, there's a link to the database passwords in case you forgot the other location. There's a few different sets of databases here. I'm going to show you InfoTrack and Gale. It's actually a huge number of databases, and they all have different specialties to them. Now you'll notice, I'm just going to scroll slowly, you'll notice there's a lot of them. So you can look at them individually by clicking on the link, or on some of them, you can search multiple databases at the same time. So let's say we want to look at biography and context, academic one file, and criminal justice. So if you select all of those, you type some terms up here in the search box and click search, it will search all three databases at the same time, which is kind of a nice feature if you want to save a little time. Now to go back to our database page, we also have access to Encyclopedia Britannica if you need an encyclopedia. ABC Clio, we have 4 different databases there: American history, world history, both the ancient and medieval and modern, and then one called World at War, which is pretty useful. It covers 43 different armed conflicts throughout world history. Annals of American History, that has some primary sources. And you can also get to Historical New York Times and Historical Boston Globe. And you need a public library card to do that. But you can always see me in the library because I do have a card number you can use if you don't have your own. And then this is a link to the Winchester Public Library, all of their databases. So let's go back to the home page for the library and see what else we have here. Okay, there's also a link to EasyBib, the Winchester Town Library, Boston Public Library, and Library of Congress. And then over here on the left, if you come in with a class, I will put information that relates to your assignment. So you navigate by subject. So let's say you're here for history class. You click on social studies and then select the appropriate teacher, and you would find information about your assignment. And that is a quick tour of the library Edline page.